Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is Triangle the Secret Storm, Season 1, Episode 2, and the name of this episode is Use Your Brain. Man, I am so here for this new show, and with this episode, we're getting even a more clear picture about these characters, and for what I can say from this episode, the storm has hit Easton, and people are going to get hurt by the effects of it. I already see that premonition, and I'm about to dive into what actually happened on this episode. The episode opens up. Logan and Gary right now are still at odds over that last fight from the last episode. We see that Logan is still sleeping on the couch. Gary is trying to, he's like slamming stuff around to get attention because he see that Logan's up, but Logan's not saying anything to him. So Gary decides to make some French press coffee and pretty much says good morning. Finally, Logan responds to him, so they sit down and they talk. They kind of like somewhat bury the hatchet from the last fight, but then we actually find out that that today is Gary's first day at his new job, and we come to find out that Gary is actually a math professor, and he works for a prestigious Ivy League school, and he's the only black person in the math department. And Logan lets him know that he admires him because that regardless of the fact that he's a black man, surrounded by all these white people, he still holds his own, and he still is able to make progress regardless, and that he really sees that Gary as being very powerful and being somebody that really goes for what he wants, and he lets Gary know that he admires that about him. So we still see that there's still some love there, and Logan says that what he's going to do is that he's going to go down to the coffee house to see if he can get some inspiration because he's still having some writer's block because because we know that Logan's actually writing a book of poetry, and we even saw from the last episode that he was even discussing this with Gary, that he's having some creative hurdles. So they pretty much part ways, and then before he leaves, Logan says, Gary, you can pay the bill, and he lets him know he'll wire $300 into his account. So we now know who really holds the purse strings in that relationship, but hold on to that. Then we see that Logan goes to the coffee house, and guess what? Guess who he runs into? Tyreek, a.k.a. Ty. Because, and I said this before, they're going to have a connection because they both are very artistic, and they are very expressive individuals. So with Ty being a musician and with Logan being a poet and a writer, it's no surprise that they actually going to come together. So they ran into each other. They sit down and they talk, and they start they pretty much have a conversation, and we can see within this conversation Ty is still flirting with Logan, and we can see that Logan is the object of Ty's desire. Logan, on the other hand, I think he's enjoying the attention because obviously it's something that he's not used to getting, especially with his relationship with Gary. But he really is trying to be serious about his craft, and he's letting them know that he's been kind of going through some challenges because he's trying to write a book of poetry, but right now things aren't clicking for him. So Ty is like, you know what? I got an idea. Let's go get some weed, and he's like, I got some weed. We can go back to the spot and we can actually, we can do some collaborating and see where things take us. And Logan is like, well, I don't think that's a good idea. And he's like, yo, I bet you $20 that I can get you over that writer's block. So he makes the bet, and he's like, come on, let's go. So here they are, they pretty much head over to the place or whatever. We see that because pretty much, Ty has shared some of his writing with Logan, so now he wants to see what he wants to see what Logan has been working on. Logan is hesitant because Logan's an artist and he's sensitive about his shit. So because he hasn't even let Gary see none of his poetry or some of the stuff that he's been working on. So he's kind of hesitant about that. But, eventually Ty's like, come on, I share some of my stuff with you. Won't you at least read me something? So he reads him this poem about, like, pretty much the whole poem is pretty much like based on the premise like, am I still loved? Do I still make you feel good? And it's a really interesting poem, and we can see Ty is really digging, and he's like, yo, I really dig that, man, that's deep. And then Logan's like, thank you. And then they look at each other and they lock eyes, and it is so apparent that the chemistry is getting stronger between them. Next thing you know, Logan steps out the room. He's actually making dinner or whatever, And next thing you know, we see Gary walks in. And Gary sees Ty up in his kitchen drinking on his Bud Light Lime, just kind of like there, like he's supposed to be there. And, Ty's like, hey, what's up? I ran into Logan, and we just been in here, working on some, working on writing and everything. He told me he'll write I'm a musician, we collaborating. But Ty is too fucking comfortable, and you can tell Ty knows he's getting under Gary's skin, and Gary is pissed. Like, he is bloodshot pissed. Because next thing you know, Logan sees Gary, he embraces Gary, and then Gary's like, can I talk to you in the room for a minute? They go back in the room, he's like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? Why the hell is he in here? He's like, look, we ran into each other at the coffee shop and we're just vibing. He's like, look, it's one thing that we had him up in here doing a threesome, but then now you're going to bring him up in here by myself, and this nigga is all comfortable up in my kitchen drinking my shit, and you don't think there's a problem with that? He's like, look, we're just in here vibing. We're just working on stuff. He's like, nah. It seemed to me, no. See, the thing is, he's definitely got another angle. You brought him up here to fuck, didn't you? Because it's obviously he wants to fuck you. And Logan's like, it ain't even nothing like that. Like, we're just working on stuff. And he's like, you know what? I don't want him in my house. Get him the fuck out of my house. So Logan is about to tell him he has to go, and Ty already knows he done already started some shit. So Ty's about, like, you know what, I'm about to go, y'all. And Logan's like, yo, I'm sorry, man. But then Gary comes in and completely flips the script. It's like, oh no, stay. I mean, because we can tell, like, because when Gary first came in there, he was slamming counters and everything, because Gary is mad that Ty has now seriously, he's mad that Ty has infiltrated himself into their relationship. But Gary, you opened that door. And it goes back to what Jabril said in the last episode, that, when you let outside forces into what you hold sacred, shit hits the fan. So we're already seeing that go on. So Gary's like, oh no, Ty, stay. I just had a bad day at work, you know how it is, but stay. And then they have dinner, and Gary is even more pissed because it's so obvious Ty and Logan vibe each other. So they're laughing and giggling amongst each other. They are like literally having a conversation, and Gary is just there. And Gary is just sitting there mad as hell, and I'm like, Gary, this is the effect of the decision you made. But Gary is not liking it. So then we see that Gary walks Ty out, and he's like, baby, I'm just going to walk him to the door. He gets him out there. He's like, look, what we had was what we had and everything, but don't come in my house ever again, and you stay away from my man. And he's like, so Ty's like, so what Logan think about it? He's like, so then he steps up to Ty, and he's like, do I make myself clear? And then like Ty's like, I don't see what the problem is. We were just enjoying the day. But tell Logan I said have a good night, and walks off. And I'm like, Ty, you're getting a little too comfortable. Like, you think you got Gary figured out, And yeah, you know that Gary's jealous and he's insecure, and that is definitely coming out about Gary. Which kind of like baffles me, because why would you want to have a threesome and you're very insecure and you're very jealous and you're very possessive of what's yours? But Ty has gotten real confident and real comfortable with the fact that he know that he can get Logan, and he know that he has that swag, and Ty definitely has it. Ty definitely has it. I mean, I'm even thinking about giving him a nickname, Magic Stick, because he know he got that ability where he can turn people out. But then again, you're messing with a guy who's jealous and insecure. That can create a type of monster that you're not ready for. So Ty, you may think you may be able to get Logan, but then again, you could be writing a check that your ass can't cash, because we see once Gary goes back in that apartment, oh, he goes the fuck off on Logan. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? Why the hell did you have him up in my house? Why the hell did you have him, all up in my shit? Like, what the hell are you doing, Logan? He's like, and Logan's like, I don't understand what the problem is. At first you was cool with it, and now you mad all over again. What the hell is going on? He's like, dude, while we having dinner, you all up in each other's faces, he's constantly flirting with you, and you just giggling and thinking it's cute. Do you know how disrespectful that is? He's like, yo. And then Logan's like, look, personally, I don't see what the issue is, and if I thought there was going to be a problem, I would have never brought him here. And then Gary's like, nigga, what made you think that this was going to be okay in the first place? Use your brain. It still works, doesn't it? And he literally starts mushing Logan in his head, and Logan's like, don't you ever put your fucking hands on me again. And then we see Gary has that little smirk. I'm like, see, Gary got a crazy side. And then he's like, and then next you know, Gary's like, you my man. What I say goes. And then Logan's like, whatever, nigga. I'm like, Logan, it's all good right now, but Gary looked like he'll probably flip the fuck out and do some crazy shit. So you might want to walk on a fine line dealing with Gary and his shit. But as we see, things have already went back to bad. Once they already made up in the morning, now him getting off of work, things are already bad again between Logan and Gary. So, as I said, like, the storm has definitely still taken shape. Then we get introduced to a new character, Sebastian. And Sebastian is this gorgeous white boy. Like, I'm like, yes, Sebastian, bring it home, baby. But when we first see Sebastian, he is getting the magic stick from Ty, and Ty is throwing the D on him, in each way possible. He's getting it from the back, and he's getting it from the side. And Sebastian is getting life. I mean, Ty is tearing Sebastian up. We come to find out that they are a couple, but they have an open relationship. And we see that Sebastian wants more affection and more attention from Ty, and Ty is very dismissive. But Ty is reliant on Sebastian, for financial support, because we actually find out that Sebastian is a college student, and he's a math major, I think. Which is interesting. I wonder if he's, at the same university that Gary teaches. That would be a shocker. But anyway, not to jump too forward, but we see that Ty asks him, like, I know you about to get this refund check. Can I get $2,000 so I can get some music equipment? And he was like, okay, but then Sebastian's like, well, why is it that, the other night, I needed you to be here and you weren't here, and Ty was like, well, nobody told you to wait up for me. So if you was waiting up for me, that's on you. And then Sebastian's like, no, I had an exam that I was working on and you said you were going to help me. And he's like, well, I can make that up to you. But you already know my strong suit is music, not math. And I'm like, ooh. So we already seeing that Ty pretty much got charmed and he got the magic stick and he uses that to get what he wants. But at the end of the day, he's not giving, back what he's receiving. Like, he's receiving all of this, support and affection from Sebastian, but he's not giving it back in return. And pretty much we see that Ty's like, look, I already told you that what this was, I already let you know how this was going down. At the end of the day, this is an open relationship. I'm a free spirit. I don't like being confined. And if you have a problem with that, then I can just walk the hell up out of here and, that'll be the end of it. And then Sebastian's like, Ty, don't do that shit to me because at the end of the day, I really don't fucking need you. And then Ty's like, yeah, you talking that shit now, but one day I'm going to walk out that door and I'm going to be gone for good. So then we see he goes to the bathroom and then Sebastian's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, see, that's the power of the magic stick. See, that magic stick will make you accept things that you normally wouldn't. And, Ty's like, look, and he's like, but Sebastian's like, look, I just want to spend more time with you, babe. I just want us to, interact more. And then Ty's like, look, I got a lot of things coming up and I can't promise you nothing and I can't make any promises and, things right now are just taking off of me and I got a lot coming up. I'm like, yeah, you got a lot coming up. You trying to break up somebody's relationship. So, yeah, you busy. And then Sebastian's like, well, the thing is, I'm busy too, but I make time for you. Why can't you do the same for me? And then Ty just walks off. And I'm like, yo, this is, damn. I'm like, Ty, you messy as hell. So then we see that Sebastian goes to see Dr. Chase. Oh, yes, and shout out to Kylie Gilman. She's a great actress. I loved her in Triangle C, Season 3, playing the role of Dr. Chase. She's amazing. But, we actually see that he goes to see Dr. Chase. We quickly find out that Dr. Chase and Sebastian are actually brother and sister. And the one thing they got in common is that they fall in love with the wrong men. And we know that to be true about Dr. Chase because we saw all the crazy hell that Alex put her through in Season 3 of Triangle and that he damn near ruined her career and her life. And if it wasn't for, Jabril getting to the bottom of it, she would still be going through. She would still be going through hell. But we can definitely tell that her license has been her medical license has been reinstated, and she's now back to practicing her profession. But she's kind of mad at Sebastian because she says that, look, I was going through hell, and you were nowhere to be found, and I really needed you, and And if anything, she knows all about Sebastian and Ty's relationship. And, and like we actually see that they have a conversation. He's saying that, so what's been going on with you? And she's like, I'd rather not talk about it. It's past. I've gotten over my situation. You need to get over yours because here it is. You putting your all into a relationship and you ain't getting half of what you're putting into it in return from him. So, but then it's like, we come to realize that Sebastian doesn't want to be alone. Kind of the same thing that Dr. Chase was dealing with Alex. They love the confines of being in a relationship. So, but then, Sebastian does kind of mention, like, look, I don't want to be alone, sis. And she's like, you already are. You just haven't realized that you're alone. Because you're in a relationship with someone who's not in the same relationship with you. And you kind of accepted certain things, but at the end of the day, it's messing, it's actually fucking you up. So then, this fool, Sebastian, had the nerve to ask her can I get a small loan, like $2,000 until my refund check comes? And she flips out. She's like, oh, really? After all this time that I haven't heard from you, you're going to come up in here and ask me for money? You know what? I'll tell you what to do. Won't you get a damn job and actually, flip some tables or dance on a stage or something? Or better yet, won't you not have a boyfriend who's leeching off your ass? Get the hell out of my office. So we already see, just from that alone, Sharon ain't for the bullshit. But we see that Sebastian is deeply in love with Ty, but Ty definitely is not in the same space as Sebastian. I mean, in some way, it looks like as if Ty is just using Sebastian for stability, because Sebastian got money. So it seemed to me that, like, he's just in it, for the perks of the relationship, but he's not really in the relationship for Sebastian himself. And it's crazy. I mean, so we already see that we've now been introduced to Sebastian, and we're seeing that Ty actually got a man, but, due to the fact that he's a free spirit, he's forever wandering off. And he has a wandering eye, and what he wants, he goes after. And right now, we all know Ty wants Logan. So therefore, when I say that, people can get hurt, I'm talking about everybody involved. Everybody is going to be affected by this. Logan's going to be affected because here it is, you thinking, because like what I'm kind of getting with Logan is somewhat this whole, that y'all know about, like, the 80-20 rule. You're getting 80% in your relationship. Somebody comes around giving you 20, and 20 looks good because it's something that you're not used to getting. But yet, you may end your relationship thinking you're getting something better, and you only end up with 20. So we're kind of seeing that situation with Logan. Like, Logan, you may end up fucking up your relationship, and you may end up fucking your life behind it. Gary, on the other hand, Gary's madness can lead him to doing something very destructive, not just to his, not only to the people that he's dealing with, but also to himself. Ty, on the other hand, you playing this game, going after somebody's man, expect a backlash, and the kind of backlash Gary may give you may not be something it may be something that you might not recover from. And then you got Sebastian, who has been putting his love and his affection into a relationship and into a man and he's not getting it back in return. Eventually, this could cause Sebastian to break. So we pretty much got that out there. But if I missed anything, guys, put it down in the comments. I'd love to talk to you guys. Or if you guys have different theories about what's going on in this episode, please put it down here. I'd love to hear from you guys. But that's what I have, y'all. So subscribe to brtbtv.com. I will have the link in the description box. And also, join the Triangle Fan Club on Facebook. You get everything Triangle. You get, the latest developments of the shows. You also get comments from the cast, and you also get updates from the creator, Caesar Williams. So definitely check out the Triangle Fan Club on Facebook and subscribe to brtbtv.com. As well, subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you can get notifications every time I drop a video. Like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I will be back with the next episode of Triangle: The Secret Storm. And I can't wait, y'all. So until then, everybody, take care.